Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. It is Thankful Thursday here at queenbeing.com. I am in the, I don't even know what I was about to say. My name is Angie Atkinson, and on this channel, I offer free daily video coaching to help you discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse in toxic relationships. I like to call it toxic relationship rehab. So if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button and we'll just get going. So I always like to start off on Thursdays with what I am grateful for and ask you what you're grateful for. So today I'm grateful for each and every one of you, grateful for my home and the fact that it covers my head through the rain, grateful for my lovely office, my family, my children, everybody in my life, grateful for vehicles that run, food in the fridge, and all the things, and also for second chances. So, how are you feeling today? What are you grateful for? Fill me in and let's get going. Good morning, Ms. Rose Hargrove. How are you? She says she's grateful for me. That's amazing. Thank you so much. I'm also very grateful for you. How are you feeling? Have you had any updates on the situation with your son yet? Let me know. I know that you're getting ready to have surgery and struggling with some of that stuff. Good morning, Miss Carlita. How are you? So happy to see you today. Hope you're feeling well. And what are you grateful for today? So I'll tell you, it has been a crazy morning. Oh, Carlita is grateful for life. I love that. I apologize for the wet hair here, people. I apologize. Running a little late this morning. Hey, it's my life. Welcome back. Nice to see you. Says I'm grateful for my sanity. I love it, and I am also grateful for my own sanity. Sometimes I'm not sure of it, but I'm grateful for it. Just kidding. Yeah. So I hope everyone is well today. It has been one heck of a week. Good morning, K Beach. Good morning, No Punches. How are you guys today? I hope everyone is good. Oh, look, it's Cole Anderson. Good morning, Cole. Good morning, Natalie. Happy to see you. Cole, how are things? What's going on? Talk to me. Cosmic Mortality is here. It says, I'm grateful for life and you all, Angie fam. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. Hello, Brian, with your beautiful face. I'm so grateful for you. How are you? It says, checking in to say hello. Angela D in the house. Hello, Angela D. And Butterfly Mama says, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. We have Hope in the house. Hello, Hope. Good morning, honey. How are you? And Becky Horst, good morning, Becky. She says, good morning. I'm grateful for what I'm learning now that I know about the NEAR study. I'm now studying me and not my narcissist. They don't deserve the attention. I love that. And in fact, I'll be kind of moving towards some of that on this channel as well, Becky. So that is awesome. Good morning, Andrea Christensen. How are you? Good morning, Ashley Thrasher, who says, what's cracking? You know, the usual. How are you? Um, Arlene Robertson, hello, honey. How are you? Chantel Davis is in Las Vegas this morning. Good morning from Las Vegas, she says. Well, good morning, lady. And oops, Carlita Vega. I gotta turn the buzz off my phone. It keeps giving me all kinds of noise here. Um, okay, let's see. We have Carlita says she's not good. Oh no, what's going on? She said, I don't have money for a lawyer, but I really need one who will fight for me. I don't know what to do. It's believed that the judge ruled against me because of the color of my skin. Oh no. And I was told this is the first time he isn't the first time he's done this. Carlita, there's got to be a way. Maybe you could reach out to one like one of those organizations, or you could. I'm thinking you might be able to get some help from someone like um, Al Sharpton, or somebody like that who will come in and help financially fund a good lawyer for you. Um, I think that if you bring your story to the news, that would be really helpful. Um, what are your thoughts about that? Would you like to bring your story to the news? Let me know. I mean, I don't have a bazillion subscribers, but I would be very happy to have you come here on this channel and share your story with with the world. So if you're interested in that, and maybe we can use that to build some leverage, I would be very happy to help in any way that I can. Let me know. Um, let's see. Arlene Robertson. Where did I see her there? It says, sorry, Angie. What are you sorry for, honey? Don't be sorry. What's wrong? Jamie L is here. Jame L. Good morning. Good morning. Is it Jame? Jame? Good morning. Welcome. Carlita says, I was told this isn't the first. Okay. Ron Nelson. Hello, Ron. Welcome back. Hey, Angie and fellow empaths. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Stacy, the sparkling star in the house. Hey, girl. Hey, how you doing? She says, hey, Angie, how are you? I broke no contact about a week ago and the narc messaged me a couple days ago. I didn't message back. My friend who married the narc's friend messaged me. She was drinking. Where's the rest of that? Stacy, how are you handling the breaking no contact? Let me know. Becky says, cool. I love that you'll be moving into that. Yeah, I think it's important. I've done nearly 1,000 videos on narcissistic abuse recovery, not including live streams. So I think it's time to start, focusing more on the recovery part as it were, and the empath individual people. Yeah. Jack Lemon says, hi, Angie. Got some divide and conquer gaslighting yesterday evening. Oh boy, I'm ready for some wisdom and insight. I tell you what, I have experienced that same thing. Was there a flying monkey involved, perhaps? Kit Kat, Stop the Chaos in the House, says, I'm grateful for where I'm at, but I feel a little upset whenever I know he's out with her. I don't get it. I'm better off, but I'm still a little stuck. I'm still taking care of myself. Well, you know what? It is a process. As you know, it's a process. And sometimes you just, you have bad days and you have, a tough week sometimes. But it's like anything, any kind of major life change, you're going to kind of go through ups and downs, and you're going to have better moments and worse moments. And I know overall you have been moving in a very good direction. And who could blame you for feeling a little bit upset when he's out with someone else? But I think, the fact that he jumped in so quickly is evidence of the fact that he might really be a narcissist because, he can't be alone. He has no self alone. And so, I get it. I get where you're at, but I want you to feel really strong and really positive about the fact that you're taking care of yourself and you're doing what you need to do to really, reclaim your life and reclaim yourself and decide who you want to be. That's a big, important thing. It really is. Let's see here. Stay strong, honey. Christy F says, absolutely grateful for my sanity. The moment you see, oh yeah, it all fits and I'm not nuts is an awesome moment, isn't it? Oh my gosh. I tell you what, that's so important and it really makes a big difference. Yeah. Andrea Saunders is here. Hey girl, hey. How are you? She says, I'm grateful for my life that the cupcake tried to destroy but didn't succeed. I love it. Love, love it. Stacy the Sparkling Star says, oh, the friends texted her and said she was drinking with the narc last night, so I had to block them both. She was always telling me to leave her, and she didn't like me talking about her then, and now they are best buddies. Of course, that's very, very unfortunately common. They will do things just like this where they, and it might have just been a simple act of trying to take someone who might have been in your corner away from you, or it could have been something else entirely. But I can only imagine. But blocking them both was probably the right thing to do for your own personal sanity, Stacy. So good for you for being that strong. And Andrea Saunders, I like that you didn't let him succeed, by the way. I lost my place. Bear with me. Okay, Arlene, Stacy, Becky. Okay, here we go. Cosette in the house. Hello, Cosette. She says, good morning, Angie and everyone. I'm grateful that my dad is coming out of the hospital today and that his surgery went well. Oh, that is amazing. I'm so happy to hear it. Also, she says, I'm grateful that I'm not as depressed over my narc as I was. Yeah, like I said, it's a process. And so that is excellent. And maybe next time you think about your gratitude, you think, I'm so grateful that I am feeling amazing, and not so much about not feeling depressed, and not that not feeling depressed is bad. It's a good thing. But anytime you're focusing on depression or something like that, you kind of open yourself up to it a little more. So instead of saying I'm not as depressed, maybe think to yourself, I'm free. I'm freer than I was, something like that, something more positive. Carlita says, none of them will help me because he wasn't beating me. Really, though? I mean, but if the judge ruled against you because of the color of your skin and there's a precedence for that, certainly there's got to be something that can be done. I'm just saying. Like I said, Carlita, if you're interested in coming on the channel, let's do it. Because I mean, I may not have a bazillion subscribers, but I have, 38,000 and change. And, that might be enough to get a little bit of attention for you so that maybe someone will come forward and, and help you. I don't think a person has to be beating you, we all know, to abuse you. And I think that with the judge ruling against you, that might be a reason that someone would help. You know what I'm saying? Wendy Smith says, hi, lovely Angie. Difficult family member did follow me because of mother contacting him and guilting this person into getting in touch with despite going no contact, referencing issue with mother. Well, let's see. So I think I've seen that before. I've seen, a flying monkey situation happen like this. My suggestion is that you, with it being a difficult family member, my suggestion is to let them also know that, or don't let them know, but block that person if they're going to be acting as your mother's agent. And I know that sounds kind of yucky, but I think that's really the only thing you can do. I certainly wouldn't give them a bunch of your attention or time at all. Wendy Smith says, already got you that one. Hey, Jeffrey Holder, how are you? Carlita Vega says, I was thinking about putting it in the news. I think it's a good idea. I do. I think if you do that, someone will come forward, and in our current society, racism is completely unacceptable. It should have always been completely unacceptable. But if there's a precedence that judge has, historically ruled against African Americans or any other people of color, then certainly that can, that could incite some action for you. And I'm not, it's not okay. No one, you're obviously an amazing mom, an amazing woman. You've got so much going for you. And for them to not consider all of that because of the color of your skin, that's ridiculous. I don't understand people at all when they do that. I know, I'm going to stop. I just, it's real. I know it's real. I've seen it myself up close. It's not good. Stacy the Sparkling Star says, friend was drinking with the narc last night. Oh, yeah. Okay. Maddie Gutierrez, hello. Welcome. She says, good morning, Angie and Roomies. Good morning, Ms. Maddie. She says, I'm so thankful for my no contact, almost 3 months now. I'm also very thankful for my aha moment that true recovery started when I focused completely on me and not on the narcissist at all. Absolutely. And it's a beautiful thing, Maddie. It's a beautiful thing, for sure. Ms. Lily says, and by the way, I'm grateful for you and all of our other chat admins as well. Thank you. Ms. Lily, hello, good morning. She says, good morning. Thankful for this weather, a warm blanket, and a cup of coffee. Thankful for supportive teachers and my boys. I love all of those things, especially the cup of coffee. No, I'm just kidding. I love all of those things. That's a really good stuff. It's kind of rainy here today. It's not too cold, but rainy makes you kind of want to snuggle down a little bit, doesn't it? Yeah. Wendy Smith says, I showed up close to my home, although the relative showed up close to my home while I was taking her. She was taking her dog for a walk, and she says, oh dear, oh my gosh. Yeah, that's frustrating and overwhelming for sure. In that case, I would be polite but direct. And I would say, if they ask you about your mom, say, you can let her know that I'm just fine. And that's it. That, I would not even go into detail with someone who won't understand. Now, if that person might get it, then feel free. But if you're pretty sure they're not going to get it, don't waste your energy trying to explain yourself. Lorian Hibbs says, good morning, all. I'm thankful for the public library. Oh, that's a good thing. They have an online option for me to get my high school degree. Oh, that's great. Yeah, and I think there are free online schools for, elementary through high school if anyone needs that. That's really cool, Lorian. Congratulations. Andrea Saunders says, I would like to do that, Angie. I need an attorney as well, and I can't afford one. Okay, well, maybe we can do some kind of like, yeah, I mean, if you want to talk, if you want to come and and share your story here. I'm sure we can do that as well. Maybe we should do like a weekly survivor story. If anybody's interested, let me know in the comments. Kit Kat says, when I stop the chaos, when I have a really good day like yesterday, sometimes the next day hits hard. It's disappointing and confusing. My desire to shake these feelings are still hard, even though I know I'm better off. You know what? You're human, and you were with that man for a long time, and you can't. Don't beat yourself up for being human. You're allowed to have feelings and emotions. It's normal. So just remember that. It's important. Um, don't beat yourself up. Love yourself harder. When you have a day like this, it's the perfect day to love yourself a little harder than you did yesterday. You know what I mean? Get yourself, do your hair up, put on a little makeup or whatever, an outfit that makes you feel super cute, and do something different than you would normally do on a day like this. Change the pattern. And once you start to change the pattern, you can change the outcome, Something to think about. Jennifer Smith says, all the abuse has made me feel like I'm not a real person. I've suppressed and denied myself uniqueness, reality, and more my whole life. That wiring feels all out of place and disconnected. Crazy. She says, I want to smile, but I'm afraid of my smile. I don't trust my smile. It scares me. Jennifer, I have been exactly where you are. I have felt just like that. I honestly never felt like I was a real person until like I was 35 years old. I'm not kidding. If I had known back then about all of this and what I was going through, I mean, when you're raised in a home where you're constantly discounted and your opinions are constantly pushed aside, and then you go into a relationship like that, well, my goodness. I never felt real. Even when I had my first child, my second child, my third child, I still didn't really feel as real as everybody else, which is very strange. But I get the feeling of not feeling like you're a real person. I will tell you this, you have to have these, um, you have to have moments of reality. You have to slowly move into self-love. You have to start to self-accept. I think I would call it, you know, unconditional self-acceptance and unconditional self-love. So something that we never got as children, if we were raised by someone like this, is basically we didn't get unconditional love from a parent. And so as an adult, you're not going to get unconditional love from anybody, right? Except for maybe a pet. But even your children could turn against you if you turn against them. So, or even if someone else messes with their head. So you can't, as an adult, get unconditional love from another person. So you have to learn how to love yourself unconditionally, and that can change your life. To be okay with who you are, even if you mess up, even if you do something, that you might think is stupid or unreasonable or whatever, and embrace the weirdness and the uniqueness and the craziness. And if somebody, calls you out for doing something they don't like, own it, and instead of trying to change who you are, radical self-acceptance, unconditional self-love. That's where I found peace and where I was able to connect with myself as a real person. Um, because you are a real person, Jennifer. It's not that you're not, it's just that you've been taught otherwise. And so you have to program yourself more or less. Does that make sense? Let me know. Ashley Thrasher says, is it Thursday already? Time is flying, which is so much better than it was dragging by thinking about the ex. Yes, indeed. Time flies when you're having fun, girl. What's up? Raven C. Raven C in the house says, hi all. Hey, Raven, welcome back. Oh, hey, Maura. How are you, honey? She says, hi, Spanley. So grateful for all the support and understanding given here that many of us can't truly find otherwise. I know that you're having a hard day. I didn't get to see exactly what's happening, but I know you're having a hard day. So please, everybody, send light and love to Maura today and strength. I know she needs it. And Maura, just so you know, I'm grateful for you as well. Jennifer Smith says, I have no family, no church or friends to turn to. It's just God, Jesus, me, and my son. Well, I understand that. And if you are a religious person, then why not find a new church, maybe, to start with? Or, look for meetup groups or something like that to start with? What about a meeting, a codependence anonymous meeting or something like that? I don't know your whole story, Jennifer, but I do know how it feels to not feel like a real person. And I know how it feels to be invalidated for your whole life. In fact, I think that's the worst part of all of this is being invalidated, never validation from the people in your life. And when someone does validate you, you often think that they're just being nice or that they, it took me a long time to get past it, Jennifer. It did. I totally relate to you so deeply. Marianne O'Donnell says, I'm thankful I can wake up and go to sleep without a cupcake. Girl, I am with you on that. That is excellent news. Yeah, Wendy Smith says, Jennifer, that's so familiar. Yeah, I think a lot of us can kind of understand that. Yeah. Jennifer says, after the court hearing soon, expecting to have full custody of my son, for us two to be able to move out of the state immediately. Real empaths, please pray with me that I and my son escape. Yeah, everybody send your thoughts and your prayers to Jennifer on her and her son getting safe quickly. Stacy the Sparkling Star says, I'm okay. 2 years later, I'm still somewhat addicted to the cycle because I hoovered before, after months of no contact. And narcs, they don't give up. So yeah, I still feel I have a trauma bond. So I assume you're going to tell me the best you can. I'm doing the NARP program because was the only one I could afford. Don't know. It sucks and hurts. I totally understand, sweetheart. I do. And I'm glad that you're doing something to change it. And I think this is a perfect example of how we always have to be vigilant of ourselves in recovery and of, as you say, 2 years later. 2 years later, you're still somewhat hooked. And that's exactly why it's so important for us to maintain, actively maintain self-love, actively build and maintain our boundaries, and don't, and not accept anything that is less than what we deserve. Something to think about. Cosette says, Angie, it's been 2.5 months since I left my narcissist I was only with for 3 months. I finally met a kind, successful man who is very smitten with me. How can I get my ex out of my mind so I can open my heart? Honey, I think you have to be really careful. I don't recall how long you guys were together. But 3 months. Duh. Okay. So if you're not ready, then don't rush into it. I think one of the most important things is if he is a kind, successful man and he is smitten with you, the very best thing you can do, Cosette, is to say to him, I really, really like you. I just need to go slow. So, start, moving slowly. And then every time your ex comes into your mind, ask yourself, does this dude deserve to have some free rent in my brain? You know what I mean? I know that sounds silly, but literally imagine yourself pushing him out of your head. Try the pattern interrupt stuff. Look on my channel for pattern interrupt videos. Just type the words Angie Atkinson pattern interrupt into search, and you'll see that there. But generally, Cosette, what you want to do is every time you think about him, the ex, then I want you to give yourself some sort of affirmation. Like, my life is so much better now. I am free of that abuse. I am moving forward. Something like that. And change your mind. I feel like, since you were only with him for 3 months, then 2.5 months should have been enough time, maybe. But really, these people do such deep damage to us, Cosette, you might want to wait a little bit longer. But if you are with someone who you really care about and you'd like to open your heart to this person, take your time. Don't rush it. The other thing I would say is be very careful, because one of the biggest red flags of a narcissist is someone who is very smitten with you very quickly. I'm not saying that you're with a narcissist now, but I am saying that maybe there's some reason that your heart isn't opening up to this person, and I want you to think about that and be aware of it. So, and I'm sorry to have to give you the imperfect news there, but that's unfortunately kind of what we're seeing, what we have to deal with. Hold on, and I'm trying to. I had Cole next, but now I can't. Wait 1 second. Sorry. Okay. Cole, here we go. Oh, Cole says his father passed away. I'm so sorry, Cole. I'm so sorry. He says, I'm in Austin. in Austin and Iowa both, working on a blog and book. Well, I'm glad to hear you're working on the blog and the book, and I'm so, so sorry to hear that your father passed away. I hope you're doing okay. Let me know if there's anything I can do. Wendy Smith says, Jennifer, stay strong. It will work out. Yes, indeed. Andrea Saunders says, my friend is still with the cupcake and he has really changed her. I feel so much hurt as she can't see him as I do. I totally get it. It is something that, you know, all you can do is just give her information and then move on. I know it's painful and it's really hard when you can't you just want to shake them. You just want to be like, listen, are you crazy? What's going on with you? But it doesn't always work that way. So just stay strong, keep your chin up and do what you can do. And then tell her, look, if you want to talk about it, I'm here to support you. She's not going to see him as you do, because she's probably still in a little bit of the love bombing phase. Sorry, it sucks. Andrea Christensen says, I spoke with a child support rep. All right. She spoke with the child support people. The narcissist showed up at her house test driving an Audi. He dropped off money, but yet claims he has no money. Offered to help me get a new car, trying to get me to agree to some. I can't see the rest of it. Yeah, it sounds to me, and Andrea, like he is, like he's absolutely almost like throwing it in your face. I mean, wow. Uh, don't agree to anything without, definitely don't sign anything under pressure, and don't agree to anything without having, at least a knowledgeable person check it over, like an attorney, if possible, or the child support people. I mean, just stay strong, and know that he's messing with your head, maybe on purpose. Why would you? He comes over to drop off money, test driving a new car, claims he has no money, offers to help you get a new car. To me, that sounds a little bit like hoovering and gaslighting mixed together. I don't know. Tell me your thoughts. Stop the Chaos says, it's like I still feel like having my own life is not real. What happened here? I just want to move on mentally and leave the thoughts of him behind me. I'm further than this, but I can't understand. Yeah, I get that, and part of it is it's such a huge change. I mean, you were married for so long, and it's almost like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop, or when you wake up in the morning and you kind of still expect to see him sleeping next to you, that kind of thing. You expect him to walk in the door at night without even thinking about that you expect him. It's a huge change, and they say that it's more, divorce, especially after as long as y'all were together, is more traumatic to us than a person dying in our lives. And so if you think about it from that perspective, you have to recognize, okay, yeah, you had to go through the trauma to get to the other side. And now that you're just about on the other side, it's scary, but don't beat yourself up. Again, don't beat yourself up. Wanting to move on mentally is the first step to moving on mentally. So you're on the right track. Give yourself a break. If you need to have you ever given yourself like a weekend or a week or anything to mourn the loss of this relationship? Because it's not, just because he was abusive to you doesn't mean that you didn't have some good times together. It doesn't mean that, you guys spent what, 20 years together? Is that what, 15 years, something like that? 22 years, I can't remember. I know it was a long time. And you had children together, you had a life together, and now all of a sudden everything is different. So maybe you need to take some time to go through the grief stages and actually, cry it out a little bit, let it go a little bit, and, mourn the person you thought you married. I know that's hard and difficult, but maybe you need to I don't know, have you done that yet at all? Because, when you're going through the whole process, a lot of times you find yourself feeling like, oh, I'm doing it. You have to be strong. You have to stay angry to keep it going. Right. And then sometimes when, you just went through the big, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the pinnacle moments, you went through the divorce, now you got all your stuff figured out and you have your business back and you have everything working in the right direction. And now you're kind of just like, right? Because now suddenly everything's supposed to be normal. Well, what the hell is normal, right? So, so stop the chaos. I would say to you, start thinking about your new normal. Start choosing your new normal. That's what I would say. I hope that's helpful. Um, Andrea Saunders says this is the one she met and became engaged to after 5 months. She's really changed. Yeah, and that's, oh gosh, that literally is almost the same story of my freaking first marriage. I also really changed, and I was already messed up to begin with. So yeah, um, I feel your pain. I would say, you know, I would say, again, I would say try to do your best, but don't like borrow other people's problems. Fill her in and move on, because if you constantly stay stressed out about something that isn't um, you know your cross to bear, there's nothing you can do. You can't force her to leave that person. You can't ask her to be someone else. She's going to have to go through this, and it sucks. But if you do anything to, try to really push her away from that person, chances are she's going to push away from you even more. So just something to think about. I'm so sorry that you're going through this, and I'm sorry that you're watching it, because I know it's probably triggering to you to see it as well, since you went through it yourself. I wish I could just give you a big hug. But I would focus on yourself as much as you can, Andrea, and start, you know, trying to, even if you need to distance yourself a little bit for a while, it might be better than going too far with trying to convince her of anything, because eventually, hopefully, she'll get the clue before she gets married. But obviously, there's no guarantee on that. So Hope says, I'm trying my hardest to stay strong. It's sad when my toxic parents try to chip away at my self-worth by nitpicking and throwing my flaws in my face. Sad and pathetic. You're right. And you know what that is, Hope? That's them showing their limitations. Toxic people are limited people. And if you allow them to continue to chip away at your self-worth, then they will continue. So keep the gray rock face. Don't give them one, nobody is perfect. Everybody has flaws. And obviously, your toxic parents, by their very nature of being toxic, have flaws. So, you know, I know you're working on getting out of there, Hope, and I hope that it happens soon for you, because you certainly do not deserve this. And, you know, stay strong. Stay with us. Know that I know that you are not alone. And even though it feels like that sometimes, just keep yourself strong. We're here. We're here. I'm so sorry. I wish I could give you better advice. Definitely stay gray rock with them. Definitely do not allow them to actually chip away at your self-worth. It feels almost impossible. But the truth is that until we separate completely from narcissists, they're always going to have our cracks can't completely heal. You know what I'm saying? Like they say we're more beautiful in the broken places, but it's just like it's like a wound. Like if you have a little wound on your hand and you keep picking and picking and picking and picking, it never goes away, right? But if you stop picking at the wound and you put a Band-Aid on it and maybe a little bit of Neosporin or whatever, pretty soon it'll heal up and close up. But if you never buy the Band-Aid and you never put the Neosporin on it and you keep poking and poking and poking at it, it could become infected and even kill you. You know what I'm saying? Even just a small, tiny wound. So it's the same deal. If we stay with a narcissist, we can pour some, hydrogen peroxide on the wound, and we can try to stop picking at it for a couple of days. It might get a little better, but then it's going to get a little worse the next time, we poke at it. So if you think about it that way, and you think about, well, so if I'm staying, I know it's your parents, but I'm staying with my parents and I'm doing my best to become stronger and get out of here. But then, you're still human, and humans are very negatively affected by, especially people they live with, who nitpick and throw flaws in their faces. Obviously there are things you can do, like throw their own flaws back in their faces, but I think that could result in even more drama. So I think the best thing you can do is not respond at all, or respond as tersely as possible, quickly, no emotion whatsoever, and I would steer clear of them as much as possible. Get out of the home or whatever, do whatever you can to stay focused on your mission of getting your own place. Let me know your thoughts on that. No Punches says yay for fellow empaths. Dad's out of the hospital. That is awesome. Butterfly Mama says, can you give us more information on the dependency and addiction part of this abuse? Trying to stay no contact from toxic, as I spent 30 years with a narc, then found a similar relationship. Yes, and I have done many videos on this, and I will do more. Bottom line, any type of romantic love in general affects the brain like a drug, right? It affects the same part of the brain as a drug. But when we're talking about somebody who takes you on this roller coaster ride of emotions all the time, sometimes things are awesome. Sometimes, you get in arguments that are so intense you never even imagined they could be so intense, right? What happens is we do, especially having spent 30 years with one and then finding a similar relationship, we absolutely become addicted to that type of roller coaster because, the connections in our brain get messed up. We can't produce dopamine naturally anymore. We have, literally, it's just like if you were a cocaine addict and you stopped doing cocaine. You hate that cocaine because it's killing you. But part of you just really needs that whatever it does. You know what I'm saying? And in order to feel happy, you almost have to feel upset first when it comes to narcissists. You almost have to have the drama. So you've got to figure, because otherwise there's no come down. You become adrenaline deprived. You don't naturally, you know what I mean? What's it called? Adrenal burnout, and you can't, your brain doesn't work the same way after you go through so much abuse. So that's why we become addicted to them. And that's why a lot of empaths who are abused become addicts of other substances and things because we're so exhausted and constantly in pain from this type of relationship. So, to numb ourselves out, that's what we do. And that's unhealthy as well. So, sometimes people do it with food, sometimes people do it with drugs or alcohol or shopping or gambling or whatever. But yeah, it's real. It's real. I suggest, Butterfly Mama, that you consider that you're literally dealing with, an addiction, and that you're literally like, what do you do if you're addicted to something? You have to abstain from it. And then you have to go through the steps. I'll talk more about this in future videos. Andrea Christensen says he is trying to get me to agree to something so he can get out of the back child support. He always promises, never delivers, and still no schedule to see his son. Agree to nothing. Don't let him out of that back child support. I mean, and if you do ever agree to anything that would let him out of that back child support, make sure that it benefits you more than that money would benefit you. I mean, really, come on. Don't do it. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm saying be very careful. Definitely don't sign anything under pressure, and definitely not without having a lawyer look it over and make sure there's no loopholes or whatever. Don't agree to anything without consulting a professional. And not under pressure. If he comes to you and he has papers in his hand and he says, sign it, sign it, sign it, sign it, don't do it. Refuse. Absolutely just refuse. Take the papers and go. I'll have my lawyer look this over. That's it. Raven C says, I'm grateful for friends and my son and my job, and I woke up happy today. I love all of those things. That is awesome. Cosmic Mortality says, and I'm grateful for you, by the way, Raven C. Cosmic Mortality says, basically, I was saying yesterday was that I slept with my friend's brother, and my friends so-called abandoned me. The whole thing. When I finally got to explain my side, everyone said it was petty. So they sort of smear campaigned you based on what happened there? Is that what you're saying? Butterfly Mama says, I want to lose the addiction part of this. I feel you. And it's a process. Try to become, something that will help you is to, instead of, well, I guess what I'm trying to say is figure out something that you're excited about and passionate about that isn't that person, and start really digging into that. So if you think about, when you got with a narcissist, maybe you love to take pictures, or you love to paint, or you love to run, or you loved to roller skate, or whatever. Start doing that stuff again, the stuff that you stopped doing because of the narcissist. Or maybe you've always wanted to try to be a knitter, or like a, I don't know, house decorator or something. Find a project that is exciting and creative and that gets your head going in exciting and creative ways and start doing that stuff. I mean, I go through these phases where I want to, and when I was younger and had less money, I used to do a lot of DIY decorating and stuff. I would be watching YouTube or reading articles about how to, DIY on the cheap, and so lots of different things you can do that will, painting is fun, or drawing, or yesterday, I don't know if you saw this, I can't remember if I saw your comment there. I put up a free adult coloring book, printable coloring book. It's on the video from yesterday if you want to grab it. And, little things like that, anything to kind of get your head away from that person and start focusing on something that's about you and not them is a start. And if you're going to get addicted to something else, get addicted to exercise or, some other positive habit or behavior instead. Exercise is actually a really great way to recalibrate stuff. It gives you gives you the feel good hormones. It keeps your body moving in the right direction, and excuse me, and it's good. It helps a lot. Okay. Stop the Chaos says it's frustrating when everything is going well and I'm still doing everything I should, but it still feels like he's in the background of my life. And I feel you. And part of the problem, of course, is the children, and that you can't completely pull away from this person. But I think that it can help you to, like I was just telling Butterfly Mama, find a project or something like that. You have to mentally separate from this person. Like, you have physically separated and mentally up to a point. But with him still being in the background of your life, you've got to, it sucks because you should be allowed to move away, right? You should be allowed to really distance yourself from him. And again, I would recommend not speaking to him. I would only deal with him via text or email if possible. Only polite, no emotion when you are dropping the kids off or picking the kids up. That kind of stuff. Stay strong. I know you're having a rough day today, and I feel you so much. But, until your children are 18, you have to deal with this person. And at least on some level, but you don't have to be emotionally entangled with this person anymore. And so I think a good mourning period would be helpful. Give yourself an end date for it. And then I think also to, become the star of your own show, so to speak. I mean, become the star of your life. Don't, maybe he's in the background, but he doesn't get to be a major player anymore. And that's what you have to remind yourself whenever you feel overwhelmed by this person. And again, even if he's making you feel this way, don't let him know it. Keep the emotion away from his, receptors because it's supply for him if he thinks he's holding you in that way. I hope that's a little bit helpful. Cheryl Worcester says, good morning, Angie Peeps. Hey, Cheryl. Thankful that I only have 1 month left until departure. What's up? That's great, Cheryl. Great news. Leah, Nova Scotia says, hello. I can't stay, but I wanted to have a thankful moment. I'm thankful today because choosing to move on is a good choice for me. Oh, I love that. All right, listen. Here we go. That's the best. Okay. So what I want you all to say right now to yourselves out loud or whatever. I'm thankful today because choosing to move on is a good choice for me. Choosing to move on is a good choice for me. Girl, I love that. All right, everybody, choosing to move on is a good choice to me. It's good for me. I love that. Thank you for sharing it, Leah. Natalie Constantine says, hope I feel your pain because I'm in a similar position. I think we've all been there up to a point. And I'm glad to see that Natalie, that you shared that, because I think sometimes just knowing that we're not alone is such a huge weight off our chests, I think. Let's see here. Miss Lily says, I'm having a problem with self-confidence. I'll be doing great for weeks and then something happens. Someone will say something and all of a sudden I'm self-conscious and doubtful. Honey, I can relate to that. Even now, because sometimes I'll get a hater on one of my videos. They'll say some mean stuff and I'll be like, oh, or someone, I won't expect to say something to me. People are rude sometimes, and people's, we are still, we go through so much that triggers things. Sometimes trigger us in ways that that we other people might not be triggered by, especially things to do with self-esteem. So, knowing it logically and emotionally grabbing it, those are two different things. Um, Subconsciously we doubt ourselves, and so you have to really, really work hard on the staying positive, staying self-aware, staying completely unconditionally in love with yourself. And I know that sounds weird. I don't mean any weird stuff by it. I just mean, radical self acceptance. So, like, here's an example, right? And I know I've probably talked about this before, but I've had 3 C-sections because my body, despite the fact that I have what I thought were childbearing hips, I do not. So, so 3 C-sections, that causes a weird thing to happen. I have a weird scar and a weird, lower belly situation. You can't even see it. I can hide it really easily. It's just a pair of, a swimsuit or whatever, but it feels, I don't like it. It's a part of myself I don't like. And so I could certainly spend my whole life being like, oh, that stupid belly thing. I hate that stupid belly thing, right? Or I could just be like, I had 3 babies and that's what happens, whatever. My point is that I accept it. I'm fine with it. It is what it is. I can't change it. I mean, no matter how much weight I lose, it will always be a weird scar right there. Because what they did on the third one was they took and they cut them all out and made one scar. It's so bizarre. Anyway, but it's all something I can hide, and it's not something that's a big deal. It's, I had the more modern version of C-section. My poor aunt, she had C-sections, and they literally cut right down the middle of her belly button, so she looks like she's wearing a zipper. Right? It could be worse. Um, my point is, self-confidence is hard, and especially when you've been abused by narcissists. But it's something that you can absolutely regain. As Lily, you were a wonderful person. I have nothing negative to say about you, and I'm sure no one else here does either. So give yourself a minute. If someone says something hurtful to you or does something that makes you doubt yourself, you're human, but take a minute. And this is what has really, really helped me. I take a minute and I go, do I care what that person thinks? Probably not in real life. Am I ever going to, deal with that person again? If I am, does it matter, what they think, whatever. I generally look at that person and I go, yeah, I'm sorry that you're so limited. That's how I think about them, because people don't say hurtful things usually when they are being nice to you. They don't say hurtful things when they themselves are self-confident. People who beat you down are people who themselves are struggling with some crap in their own head, and that's not your problem. And that's what you have to start to recognize. People who feel threatened by you, or people who feel, overwhelmed because you're doing something they want to do and they can't do, or whatever. You have to just stay focused. Don't doubt yourself so much. I hope that's a little bit helpful, because that makes sense. Thank you, Angie, for the wisdom. My pleasure. Thank you. Raven C says, the lawyer I spoke with won't take my case because I wasn't physically abused and my income is just above their cutoff. My God, I'm so sorry. That's, maybe you should, there's got to be better laws about this. I mean, sometimes in some cases, the mental abuse can actually be so extreme that it's more, and the emotional abuse, that it's actually more harmful to a person than just physical abuse. I mean, physical abuse is harmful, obviously, but I mean, it can change your. I'm going to stop. My point is that this is part of the reason, Raven, that I do what I do. I'm trying to help the world understand how deeply this affects people and how very devastating it can be to go through this kind of abuse. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Cosmic Mortality says, Angie, did I deserve to lose my friends over that? Get abandoned by the sister of my friend? How does one learn to themselves be alone and after narc abuse and not seek men? Did you deserve to lose your friends over that? Probably not. but I don't know the whole situation. I don't know what the brother's deal is. Is the brother like, um, is the brother married to someone else or with someone else, and the brother cheated with you, or is the brother underage? Is the brother, what's the deal? I don't know what the deal is. I mean, honestly, there are certain circumstances under which it might be reasonable for a person to not be okay with someone sleeping with their brother. So I don't know the whole deal, but but learning to be by yourself and learning to not seek, the comfort of other men is all about, I think, is all about self awareness and self love. I personally, kind of enjoy being alone a little bit, but I also, certainly understand the need to have people in your life. So it's a process. You have to, you know what? I'll tell you what it is. I think for me, what it was, when I was in college, I had some moments where I certainly, in hindsight, I can say that I was seeking attention from men because it was easy. And even though I pretended modern, I don't have to follow the rules of society kind of person, the truth is that secretly I was probably hoping they would fall in love with me, because I felt very alone in the world too. And so I think I don't know the whole story with your friend and her brother, but I think as far as you go, the best thing you can do is work on learning to love yourself, learning to unconditionally accept who you are, and raise your standards. That's raising my standards was a big important part of my own healing, and knowing that I deserved better than just some stupid one night stand or some guy that really didn't want anything from me but what he could get from me. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah. Rose says ACLU. Yeah. Okay. So for Carlita, you're saying ACLU. Carlita, hear that? Um, Kit Kat, Stop the Chaos says, there has to be a way to push through to the next level of healing. I've worked very hard, but some days I just slip back into victim mentality. I'm just confused. I want to feel more whole. So start this way, honey. Start this way. Stop. If you find yourself in the victim mentality, well, change your mind. you know Find some powerful female role models to look at, Wonder Woman, or anybody that makes you feel like get yourself a power playlist. Something that has been really, really helpful for me is when I think I've told you this before, but when I go into victim mentality or I start to feel overwhelmed by the world, I'll pop in that power playlist and I'll get my groove on while I'm doing stuff, and sometimes I'll go for a walk or whatever, and I feel power. I intentionally choose to feel powerful during those times, and I let those words really soak into my head. Sometimes I need to listen to some angry music, and a little Big Sean every now and then. That I Don't F With You song is really good. Anything like that. I don't know if you've seen my power playlist that I use in the morning. It's called Good Morning Beautiful, but it's really long now, the playlist, but it has a lot of some songs and whatever, and they get me moving, but some of them are power songs. This is my fight song, and even though I don't really like the fight factor, but I get it because she means fight song, like in high school fight song, Take Back My Life song, but whatever works for you, do what you need to do to feel powerful. Sometimes just getting, especially dolled up and doing up all the things with the hair and the makeup and putting on a really cute outfit and the power playlist gets me going pretty good. Try something like that. I know it sounds surface and it sounds, but you have to choose how you feel. You can choose how you feel. It's normal to accidentally fall into victim mentality, especially when you have been so abused and you have been struggling so much. Now you have to start focusing on yourself. And I know you're trying to do that. I've seen you go to great heights in this process. And I'm so, so proud of you and impressed by you. You're going to feel more whole as time goes on. Start giving yourself an affirmation. I am whole. Just like I am right now in this moment, I am whole. Start there and keep moving forward. I am powerful. I am whole. I am fully engaged with my life. I love myself unconditionally, all of those things. Do you know what I'm saying? All right. Rose Hargrove says organizations that help people that are of color or disabled will help you. Hear that? Okay. Raven C says, so now a meeting with a lawyer who gets it, but I need a loan. Oh, goodness. Well, talk to the lawyer and see what they can do with you, do for you. Maybe they'll work out a payment program for you, or maybe they'll even ask the court to make him pay or make the other person pay, the charges. Sometimes they do that. Carmen says, amen on true recovery. Yep. Hi, Carmen. Jamie. Okay, good. Her real name is Jamie. Okay. Male or female, Jamie? Carlita Vega says, the ex-narc is Hispanic but looks Caucasian when clean shaven. He uses that to his advantage. I have so many things to say about that. But I'm not Hispanic, but I am part, Jewish, and I pretty much look Caucasian. But but I get it. I get it. And that's yeah, that's unfortunate for you, Carlita. But I hate that people use that to their advantage. This is our stupid society. I need to stop talking about it now. Carlita, I'm on your side, and if there's anything I can do to help you get some support on this, please reach out to me, and I'll do whatever I can. I will offer you my platform to get your message a little further if possible, or just call your local news and start there. Anything I can do, I will be happy to help. Eileen Salerno says, thank you for all of your keen insight and support. Thank you for being here, and thank you for that, Eileen. I appreciate you. Kit Kat says, Maddie, and this is Stop the Chaos again, by the way, I could really use that aha moment. I've been concentrating on myself, but he's still in the back of my mind messing me up today. I get it. I get it. Push him out of there. Listen, do this little exercise with me. Imagine that he's sitting up there in the back of your head, acting all crazy in some kind of a chair. And real quick, throw some wheels on that chair. And now take the tiny little self, the tiny little you, have it crawl up a ladder in the back of your head and walk right in there and push him right out of there, right out your nostrils. And then I want you to blow your nose. And it seems silly, but I'm telling you, sometimes little things like that, oh, they make a huge difference. Let's see here. So we have Becky Horst, who says emotional abuse shapes not just as children. You are correct. She says any abuse we expose ourselves to conditions our amygdala. We need to protect it just as we protect our face from a punch. That's profound and true. It is profound and true, Becky. Thank you so much. Protect your brain, protect your heart, your soul, protect yourself emotionally, because you're right. Just as we protect our face from a punch, we have to protect ourselves from emotional abuse. We have to be, you know what? I look at it this way, you guys. Let's break the cycle. I'm breaking the cycle for my children. I think you guys are going to break the cycle for any children you have. And then our children won't continue this horrible legacy that we were brought into. We can start something new right now, this generation. You know what I mean? All right. Angela D says, I broke no contact after a month in. He hoovered me by using the Poke app on Facebook and sending messages through other Facebook accounts. I talked to him, and I was so upset for doing that. I was doing good. Okay. Now, Angela, I want you to take a deep breath, and I want you to hear me very, very carefully, very specifically right now. Stop beating yourself up. You made a mistake. It's okay. Block all those other accounts. Get yourself back on the wagon, and let's keep moving forward. You can do better again. You can do good again. You're human. You made a mistake by accepting that. He made it really easy for you to make that mistake by pushing and poking, literally poking you into that spot. So now you need to just batten down the hatches, close those, give yourself a little bit more security on your Facebook account so that randos can't text you or email you on there, and take the Poke app off your thing, maybe, and or at least don't allow that person to do that, and lock your account down so that only people that you accept can see anything. Otherwise it'll just be blank or whatever, or they won't find you at all. I have my kids' accounts locked down so that you can't even find them their accounts. And if you type in their names, some other people will come up, unless you're already friends with them. So, and random people cannot send them friend requests. So, I hope that's a little helpful. All right. I'm just about to wrap up right now. I've got so many things to do today, but I'm going to answer a couple more questions and then I'm going to wrap up. Natalie says, Carlita, this is so sad what you're going through, and I totally agree. Amy Grazda, hello, Amy, welcome. She says, hi, Angie, I broke no contact because I couldn't stand to read the angry emails I kept getting. Now I'm in the middle of an email battle, but I can't stop. I need to defend myself or it'll drive me nuts. I can relate to that. And this is what I'm going to tell you. I've been there, literally right there. Angry emails are what they are. But my suggestion to you is to, if you're going to send anything else, send one more email and say, I have so many things I want to say to you, but I realize it's going to fall on deaf ears / eyes, whatever. And I'm not going to continue to waste my energy on someone who will not hear me. I'm out. And then block them. Set up a rule in your Gmail or whatever to automatically send his crap to the trash. Don't read it. Or better yet, if you have a friend or family member that you trust, forward the email to them automatically through your Gmail, and then just don't read it. Because what'll happen is you'll have a record of it in case you ever need it. And, I feel you on the defending yourself part. Believe me. But, that's the hard part about these people. We have to get to this place where we no longer, we cannot get validation from them. Nothing good is going to come from you responding to those emails. You know what I'm saying? If you have anger or issues, that's understandable. Write down your thoughts on a piece of paper and then burn it, or put it in a drawer in case you need to look at it later, or type up the email and send it to someone else that you trust instead. You know what I mean? Don't give him the satisfaction. What you're doing by responding and defending yourself is you're giving him supply, and that's what he wants. He likes that. He thinks that there's hope now because you're fighting with him, and that's supply. My suggestion to you is to stop. I know you say you can't stop. You can stop. Choose to stop. The worst thing you can do to a person like this is to stop giving them attention. So by responding to his emails, you're doing what he wants. That's why he gets more and more outrageous in the emails, and you're almost forced to respond, right? Well, no matter what he says, try not responding. And eventually, he'll get bored and move on because he's not getting the supply that he wants from you. I hope that's a little bit helpful. Cole says I would come on and talk about my experience. Okay, cool. We can set something up. I'm trying to work out something. I've got such a crazy schedule that it's hard for me sometimes. But I'm working on, I have an idea, and we'll definitely work on some of that stuff. Oh, good. Carlita, good. Carlita said she will contact the ACLU. I think that's excellent. And especially given what you said about the judge, I'm guessing there's some sort of precedent set there, and that's going to help you a lot. And unfortunately, I know that there is such a thing as using being Caucasian to your advantage, which disgusts me. But yeah, good stuff, Carlita. Let me know how it goes. Please keep me posted. Wendy Smith says, oh man, Angela D, do not beat yourself up because of crazy people. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Lorian says, I love the idea of doing survivor stories. Okay, so you know what I might do? I might set something up where you guys would sign up for survivor stories, and like maybe just like once a week, set something up where, okay, so like, on Tuesdays or Thursday, someday we'll do a survivor story per week or something, and there would be a time slot available each week, so people could maybe go in and sign up to be on the show that day or something. Let me know your thoughts. All right, you guys, I have to rush off, and I will see you tomorrow for a quick check-in, later today for another video, and in the SPAN group, as always. I will see you soon. As always, thanks so much for being, part of my day and a part of my life, and thanks for letting me be a part of yours. It really, really does mean a lot to me. See you soon. Stay strong. Stay strong.